Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. 2026 is right around the corner, y'all. And while most folks are thinking about doing more cardio, doing the 10,000 plus steps a day, other folks are saying they just go eat chicken and broccoli and eat salads all the time. Guys, what I'm going to show you how to do is how to have the right habits. That way you're not focused on quick fixes. You can actually get the results and finally keep the results. Drop 30 pounds and keep it off. Okay. These are things that I teach my coaching clients. Like my member Ann, she's down over 100 plus pounds and loving the way she looks, and she's able to keep that weight off. Okay. And so I'm going to share with you things that are not just theory. These things are real life application. These things are happening to real people, not just myself, but other people also. And so with that said, the first thing is this. You got to shift from just eating calories to eating protein. Most folks don't realize you can be in a calorie deficit because most trainers, what do they say? Be in a calorie deficit, eat less, move more. Well, why are so many people still overweight? Why do so many people still have a belly fat and struggling with the clothes not fitting? It's not that simple. y'all remember what was the movie called The Notebook? I just watched that movie not long ago, and she was like, "It's not that simple. It's not that simple." It is not. Okay, and so here's why. You can have two people. One person can just focus on calorie intake, and they could potentially lose weight, but they feel tired, they feel irritable, they feel exhausted, not just physically but mentally, because of the quality of foods they're eating within that calorie intake. This is why it's important to, yes, you still want to focus on your calorie intake, but you also want to focus on your protein intake, okay? This is like research backed. This is scientifically proven. People who eat more protein while being in a calorie deficit burn more fat, okay? You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to build muscle faster. You're going to be able to feel full and more satisfied from your meals. Like a lot of people, I think one of the biggest fears that most people have, and I used to have this fear also when I was trying to like really get dialed in with my abs. I was like, man, if I'm eating healthy all the time, I feel like I'm going to be starving. I don't know if that's just me, but that was one of my biggest things. I was like, I just don't want to feel like I'm starving. And that's a big fear for a lot of people. Eating more protein can help you avoid that. Eating things like eggs, egg whites, chicken, salmon, New York strip steak. That's one of my personal favorites. I love me some New York strip steak. There's just so many proteins out there to pick and choose from. Drink a whey protein shake. You know, that was what I had for breakfast this morning. You know, I'm moving today. So I had a protein shake with some walnuts. And then in a couple of hours, once I finish up with all this good stuff, all the content, I'm going to eat me a brunch. And I'm going to eat me another snack. And then eat me a done. You see what I'm saying? And so there's different ways to do this, but you want to make sure that you have the right calorie intake and the right protein intake. Okay? That's the first habit. Second habit is this. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. Write that one down. Burn it into your... Listen to my voice. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. If you are not tracking, you are slacking. There's a lot of people who are, quote unquote, eating healthy. And they're like, man, I feel like I'm doing everything right, man. I don't know why the weight's not going down. I don't know why my clothes not fitting the way I want them to. I don't know why I have brain fog in the middle of the day and I'm feeling tired and irritable. And then I ask them, How much calories do you know how much calories you eat on a daily basis? Do you know how much protein you eat on a daily basis? No, I just eat healthy and I'll eat this in the morning, I'll eat this for lunch, and then I'll eat some pasta for dinner because that's what wifey cooked for the kids and me. I'm like, okay. Yet these are the people who say they're eating healthy and they're doing everything right and wonder why the weight isn't going down. We want to shift from just eating healthy. Like, I do want you guys to do that. That is a part of the game. You do have to eat healthy, but that doesn't have to be all the time. Okay? Follow the 80-20 rule. 80%, you're eating healthy. The other 20%, you're enjoying yourself. And you can actually, if you understand how to cook, like, it don't even have to be these crazy ingredients, like 1,000 ingredient foods. You can make healthy food taste good, guys. Folks be like, chicken is boring. I'm like, no, your ass boring. It's 1,000 different ways to cook chicken. It don't have to be boring. You get tired of grilling it, you can bake it, you can saute it, you can air fry it. Guys, come on now. You got to get resourceful. Y'all know how to get resourceful in your career, in your business. Get resourceful with your health. Okay? And so here's the thing. We don't want to just eat healthy. We want to understand how much do we need to eat. So you got to track it in something like MyFitnessPal. Okay? That way you're aware of how much you're eating. I can't tell y'all the amount of times really, high level professionals, successful men and women join my coaching program and I build out their nutrition plan. Like, I design it for them based on their lifestyle, their goals, their preferences. And then I still have them track it. And a lot of them are like, yo, I had no idea I was eating so much food, so much calories in just peanut butter. A lot of people don't even realize you can eat 2 or 3 tablespoons of peanut butter and you eating 400, 500, 600 calories. And imagine if you have to eat 1,400 calories in a day. You just ate 500, 600 in 2 tablespoons, 2 or 3 tablespoons. Insane. But if you're not tracking, you wouldn't know these things. And so you're eating healthy. You're putting peanut butter and almond butter in your, what do they call that? Your smoothies. But you're wondering why you're not losing weight. You're wondering why your clothes don't fit. Wondering why you don't have energy. You got to track these things. Okay? And so use MyFitnessPal. Like, even when you are going to fast food stores, like, what do they call it? Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Moe's, wherever you like to go. They have the meals inside of MyFitnessPal. And so you can say, yeah, I had this chicken biscuit, or I had these grilled chicken nuggets, and this side salad. It's going to tell you how many calories it was. And now you have at least an estimate. Of course, it's not perfect and spot on, but at least you have an estimate of how much you're eating, guys. That's why, like, somebody like myself, guys, for the past couple of weeks, I've been like busy, like crazy busy. I don't know if y'all been noticing, but I've been shifting my brand a little bit, my brand messaging, you know what I'm saying, my marketing. And I've had some losses in my family recently. And so I've been really busy. So I've been eating Chipotle almost every day. I'll eat breakfast, I'll eat brunch, I'll eat 1 or 2 snacks, and I'll eat Chipotle almost every day, guys. But I still have abs. My abs didn't disappear. I'm not feeling guilty for eating fast food. Still the same weight, still have energy physically and mentally, because I understand how to track. I understand how much is too much and also how much is not enough. Because if you don't eat enough, this can cause stress, not just physically, but mentally. You can find yourself having brain fog if you're not eating enough. If you're, quote unquote, fasting, but really you're just skipping meals. This can increase stress, which increases cortisol, making it really, really hard for you to maintain a good healthy diet because you want to overeat and binge eat in the evening time because you're so deprived. Okay? So very important. That's the second habit. Start tracking. Third habit. You want to go from busy to managing your time. Most people who join my coaching program, we take them from being busy to being efficient. Okay? And we do this by helping them understand what time they have And one of the best ways to do that is use Google Calendar. If you're not using a calendar, like most people do this with their business, they know when their business meetings are, they know when their conferences are, they know when they got to start their shift, they know when they're getting off. You know these things. But what about when you're going to work out? What about when you're going to eat your meals? What about when you're going to sleep? What about when you're going to have family time? All these things should be plugged into your calendar. Because I don't know about y'all, but if it's just in my head, I get overwhelmed. It's just so much. And so when you have it in your calendar, all you got to do is just open your calendar and you see what's coming up. And then you can prepare ahead of time because you're like, oh, okay, that's coming up right here. All right. I need to make sure I manage my energy for this time right here. And then I'm going to rest at this point. And then I'm going to turn up when 3 o'clock hit. That's how this works, y'all. Because now it's on the calendar. Now you can better manage your energy. Now you can prepare. Okay. These are habits, guys. High performance habits. That's number 3. Number 4, you have to go from exhausted to having energy. A lot of people who are extremely busy, have demanding careers, they are exhausted. They are exhausted. And, you have these quote unquote mindset gurus out here who say, sleep when you die, man. If you getting more than 8 hours of sleep, man, you sleeping your life away. And guys, listen, I'm a hustler. I view myself, if you like me, you're the type of person who is a workaholic voluntarily. Like you want to be a workaholic because you know if you're not moving towards something, you're not like moving towards a purpose, you start to kind of like dig holes in your life. You start to dig holes. And you're not busy. Like when you're bored and you don't have anything that you're working towards, you don't have a vision that you're working toward, this is how folks go into these mental ruts. This is how folks start to explore toxic, self-sabotaging habits of drinking all the time. Alcohol, that is. Smoking. The MJ. Sex, just excess and just like all over the place. Because there's no purpose. There's no vision that they're not working towards something. And so if you want to go from feeling exhausted and tired and deprived, guys, you got to focus on managing your energy, making sure you are sleeping. Anything less than 6 hours of sleep, guys, scientifically proven, you dramatically increase. It's like 55%, something like that you're going to end up being obese because you're not getting enough rest. Not enough rest leads to more stress, more emotional eating, more binge eating. So very, very important, guys. You got to start sleeping at least 6 to 8 hours. All right. At least 6 to 8. Anything less than 6, and you're shooting yourself in the foot. One of my coaching clients asked me the other day, like, how important is sleep with weight loss? And I was like, I had to think about it for a second. I was like, you know what? Man, if you're not sleeping well, the diet, the workout, all that, you can't even perform the way you want to in the gym. If you're not rested, you're not even going to eat the right foods. If you're not rested, you're going to be too tired and deprived. And so it's very important to make sure you're getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay. There's tools out there. I can't remember the tool, what it's called, but it's like a ring the Oura ring. You can put it on your finger. It shows you your sleep patterns. If you're in deep sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, these are the types of things you got to start using if you want to perform at a high level. If you're the type of person who wants to excel in your career, but also in your personal life, you got to treat your body like a business. You the CEO of your body. And so if you just allow your body to just never get rest, then what's going to happen in your body? Just like what's going to happen to the business. It's going to start crumbling. Okay. And so that's number 4. Number 5 is we have to go from being inconsistent to prepared. We have to go from being inconsistent to prepared. A lot of people who reach out to me, they don't have a problem starting meal plans and workout plans. The issue I see is they can't stick with it. That's the issue I see. They cannot stick with it. And one of the reasons they can't stick with it is they think they have to meal prep like a bodybuilder. They think they have to do prep like 6, 7, 8 meals for like so many days out the week, 5, 6 days out the week. Or they feel like they gotta, do these 6, 7 day a week workout routines. You don't have to do those things, guys. You don't. Like all you need is 3 to 4 days a week at the gym. And then when it comes to meal prepping, if you're like me, sometimes when you're busy, you just prep 1 or 2 meals. Like I like cooking my breakfast, but for lunch and dinner, and sometimes I'll just eat dinner, because I may have 1 or 2 snacks throughout the day. I may just prep that lunch or that dinner. That's it. So that way, and I'll do that the day before or that morning of. That way I'm not like, by the time lunch or dinner comes around, I'm like stressed. I can't even think straight. I just want to put something in my body because I'm stressed. I'm hungry. I feel my energy level dropping, blood sugar dropping. No good. And so you have to get really good at not just saying I'm busy. That's what most people do. To being a high performer who says, let me make sure I'm prepared. Today's going to be a really busy day. This week is going to be really busy. This month is going to be really busy. Let me make sure that I prepare. That's all you got to do, guys. Okay? And sometimes preparation isn't doing. Preparation sometimes is just organizing things in your head. Organizing things on your calendar. That way you know what you need to do. And then you just execute. That's all producers do, man. We just execute. But if we don't know what we need to execute on, we don't have that clarity, that's where the inconsistency comes in at. Okay? So that's number 5. Number 6, you got to focus on stress management. Guys, you can't outwork stress. You can't outwork high blood pressure. There's people out here who have these very demanding careers, responsibilities at home. They're taking care of their family, taking care of the kids and, the partner. And some of them, depending on their age, they're taking care of their parents now, And if you're stressed, you're overweight, 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight, what do you think is going to happen if you have high blood pressure? Yeah, this is how folks be having strokes. This is how folks be having cardiac arrest, heart attacks, because they're trying to outwork poor nutrition habits, outwork poor lifestyle habits, sedentary, not being active, eating fast food all day, snacking on chips, trail mix, and crackers. Guys, that is not fuel. The people who, they're like, man, I need more energy, man. I need, baking the phone. Baking the phone. From the outside looking in, everything looked like it's going well, but that person deep down, they know, like, man, it's a ticking time. I don't know what's going to happen, but if I keep on living this way, something bad going to happen. But it don't have to be that way. And so what you have to do is you have to start managing your energy. Managing your energy looks like making sure you're getting enough rest. Making sure you're eating quality food. Guys, food is energy. If you eat the right types of food. If you eat the right quantity of food, it gives you energy. You eat too much of it, it's stored energy, fat. That's what stored excess energy is, fat. If you eat too much. Some folks, you have these folks who are vegans and vegetarian. They're like, I don't know why I'm overweight, man. I'm eating healthy all the time. Too much energy. You're eating in excess. No good. Okay? You have to eat. There's a balance to it, guys. Okay? And so when you manage your energy, this lowers your stress. Because imagine having a tight deadline. You're already putting stress and pressure on yourself because you're a hustler, right? You're a go-getter. But imagine if you carry an extra 30 plus pounds. Imagine if you're eating junk food so you're not fueling yourself properly. Of course you're going to be stressed. But if you're eating right, you're sleeping right, you're drinking water so you're not dehydrated, this is how you're able to excel in your career, but still have that energy to enjoy time with your family and the people you love and care about. Okay? So that's number 6. Last one. We moving through it, baby. We moving through it. I got you. The last thing you want to do is this. This one is deep too. This one is deep. I want you to really pay attention to what I'm getting ready to share with you. We all want to get fast results. Let's not kid ourselves here. We all, in every aspect possible, we want to get fast results with weight loss. We start that new business venture. We start that career. We want to get fast money. We want to make long money too, but we want to get it fast. Whatever it is. We go to, the Six Flags, like out here in Atlanta, go with our family. We don't want to stand in line for hours. We want to get right on the roller coaster. We want it fast. That's just the nature of human. But we have to make a shift when it comes to health and weight loss. Quick fixes lead to temporary results. Quick fixes lead to disappointment because you lose the weight and then you gain it back. And so instead, I want you to start thinking identity. Remember that word, identity. Okay? Because this is the biggest thing. I really don't hear trainers talk about this. Okay? Most folks are just doing diet workout. They think that's all they need. I just want to lose the weight and then I'll be good. But yet we see so many people gain this weight back. Like, I've been doing this over 16 years, y'all. I see so many people lose weight, gain it back. Why does this happen? I'll tell you why. It's because when they started their journey, they didn't think about the person they were now and the person that they were meant to be. For example, I want you to fast forward, let's just say, to 2026. A little over 3 months, right? Get down 30 plus pounds. How does your life look? How does dropping that 30 plus pounds and you having more energy, you thinking more sharply, you have more confidence, how do you show up in your professional life? How do you show up in your personal life? How do the people in your family think about you? Are they happy for you? Do they admire you? Are they inspired by you? How about the people at work? Are they now admiring you? Do they, start exercising and eating better because of you? Because you're being that example. You have to think about that version of yourself that you're meant to be. When you start thinking this way, you start living this way. Because it's now a part of your identity. The people who continue to think the way that they've always thought, they keep getting the things that they've always had. They may lose weight, but then they gain it back because they look at themselves as Fat Boy Anthony or Big Girl Sasha. And they slowly but surely gain the weight back. But when you start to shift your identity, guys, the way you view yourself, this is how you get results that are permanent. Because you've changed, not just externally, but internally. This is how this works. And when you make these habits happen, all 7 habits, this is how you drop your next 30 pounds and you keep it off. All right. With that said, guys, we out of here. Let's get it. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.